It's live. So, hey everybody, welcome to Killing Time. I'm IA. I'm the man of 6 nicknames, and with me as always is Just Bob, the Florida Gator, the man who beats clams up on his belly. Why clams? I don't know. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. We are trying a hangout on air because I've been far too lazy posting the videos, and so this should go automatically on our YouTube channel, and we can embed it and publish it and all that other stuff. And let's see, today on Killing Time, the show that searches for entertainment that doesn't suck. Can you tell I've had coffee? We're going to review the Wonder Woman movie. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You know what? During the movie, I did something unusual, and I actually took notes.
Oh,
During
very interesting.
Actual movie.
Like I said, it's been a couple days since I saw the movie, so I've actually had some time to think about it. And I can say that actually, since I saw it, I've actually started liking it even more than when I first saw it, since I've been thinking about it.
All right, so first we'll do the first part of the show where we don't spoil it at all. We'll tell you what we think about it. Eventually we'll go into the spoilers. And so let's get right to it. Flat out, the best DC extended universe movie there is. Agree, disagree?
Easily. Absolutely above and beyond the others. It's in a whole different category, if you want my opinion.
Yeah. So you saw it in the big screen. Did you see it in 3D or 2D?
I saw it in 3D.
I think I saw it in 3D. Did we see it in 3D? I think we saw it in 3D as well. I don't know if 3D really added to the picture or if it was
I don't know, but it definitely is a movie theater movie. I mean, it was big and amazing, a lot of good battles. It was definitely worth seeing on the big screen.
I agree. It was a really large scale movie. When it came to, so without spoiling the movie, I thought it was a very well told, logical, deliberate story. It didn't have a lot of confusing, it's confusing motivations for anybody. It seemed like that you had a lot more humor. I think this movie made me laugh more than any other DC
even
movie.
with the humor, they were still able to keep a dark tone because of the obvious location of most of the action being World War I. You actually got the tone that war is horrible, but it was still, somehow they did it and still remained light enough that it wasn't like some of the previous DC movies.
Yeah, because you're right. This is a very serious subject matter. Excuse me. You have a warrior from an island joining the Allies in World War I to fight off, well, the evil. I think they're called the Central Powers in World War I, though. I always think Axis, but that's World War II.
Yeah.
And you have a very heavy topic, and you have death, and you have lots of this stuff going on. But they do manage to have a lot of moments of levity because you need that kind of stuff to go through this. Let's see. Let's talk a bit about Gal Gadot, because that's how you pronounce it.
Gal Gadot, yeah, was awesome. I have no other way. She's absolutely gorgeous. You can't get over that. And that's an important part of the movie, is that she is so beautiful and she doesn't blend in no matter what she does, because she just has this presence about her. I thought she did a really good job bringing the character to the screen and being the young, well, not young age-wise, but naive Wonder Woman when she first gets to London and everything, not understanding the world. She did that excellent. And, seeing her, fieriness and wanting to make everything better, it was just, I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, so this isn't, I don't think this is spoiling anything, because if you've seen the trailer, you know that Wonder Woman goes from the island of Themyscira to somewhere in Europe. London is the case in this, so that's a spoiler, I guess, but I'm pretty sure they tell you that. But there's an innocence about her because she's not familiar with the ways of the world, yet she's still a fierce warrior. So she's got this dichotomy that works really, really well. And what I wanted to talk about real quick was about the costume. Now, she doesn't, I don't want to talk about everything just yet. But when she wears the costume, there's this weird, I would say almost like Superman 78 style, even though this costume is ridiculous. Okay? Basically, it's like a one-piece bathing suit.
She pulls it off. It's like she's a different person.
Not only does she pull it off, but everybody around her in the actual event of the movie takes this person seriously.
Yes.
And if one person makes one crack and snickers, like if you've seen the JLA trailer or Justice League trailer, and Aquaman makes a little bit of a crack at Batman, dressed like a bat, dig it. Like, I get that kind of levity. But there is nobody in this film that ever just like mocks her for the way she's dressed. Plus, like I said, Christopher Reeve 78 kind of stuff, Superman 78, she pulls it off where you're just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's completely fine. It makes no sense, but it's completely fine. So
it's her presence. It's her presence. She totally pulls it out. And to take it one step further, her presence is what you need in a superhero movie. That just her presence in that outfit, in the situation, gives the people around her hope.
Mhm.
Almost like you expect Superman to do. Superman 78, that guy coming into a place, there was hope everywhere. People were like, yes, this is going to happen. That we didn't get with, Man of Steel. We didn't get with, Batman versus Superman, but you get it here. Just her presence, brings the people around her up, so to speak.
In tone, yes, there's a lot of hope in this movie. Now, I know in Man of Steel, they go like, this symbol isn't an S. It means hope on my planet. No, it don't. Not in that movie. There's no hope in that movie. But in Wonder Woman, there's hope and there's levity and there's lightness and there's color and there's all of this properly done film kind of thing. Let's see, before we...
While somehow still fitting in the universe. Like I said, I don't want to take away from that. It doesn't feel like it is a completely different, off the left, cuff movie that doesn't belong and fit with the other ones. There is something about it that fits in while still standing apart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I could see that. I had the first line I had here was, ties things together, and we'll talk a little bit about why it does that. It ties things together very well. I think one of the things I've seen online, I try to avoid anybody else's review of this because I wanted to make sure my opinions were mine and not influenced by anybody else on this. I felt like, and I don't think this is spoiling anything because we'll talk about that again later. This is essentially a very good Captain America movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's, I think we can start spoiling some stuff now. I think we'll go to spoiler now. Since this is live,
okay.
I didn't write anything to say it's spoilery, so I'll just do this for spoiler.
Yeah, good one. Okay.
All right. So spoiling, let's talk a little bit about Steve Trevor, played by Christopher Pine.
Okay. Can I just say that I thought Chris Pine did an amazing job in the part.
I think it wasn't just
there were times.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there were times, it wasn't even what he was saying. His facial expressions through the whole movie, if you look at him, kind of tell more of a story than some of the things he's saying.
So we have an anchor with Steve Trevor, right? We have this character. Yeah. He's a regular person. He goes to this island and he's like, what's this? What's going on? Essentially like Wolverine and X-Men, the first one. Like, yeah, you're Cyclops. Okay, whatever. We can make fun of this kind of thing. But the audience learns stuff in a natural way that makes you actually connect with the actual heroes. Because I know this, for all the movies I've watched for DC, the 3 anyway, there's no real connection with any character, any hero or anything. But thanks to this simple, here's a human interacting with the Amazonians. Well, guess what? Now you're going to get used to this kind of world. And then you get to find out why Wonder Woman is likable and why she's important, because you have Steve Trevor and he's super important to this film. And this is part of the spoiler part. His ending, or his last scene, as it were, if that didn't scream Captain America to you, I know he wasn't playing Cap essentially, but he kind of decided to like, okay, I'm going to move this plane away.
Yeah, it was some of the same feelings I got at the end of Captain America: First Avenger. I mean, they did it. I mean, it was really well. I mean, he had a great character arc through the whole movie and totally believable. And even his relationship with Wonder Woman, you could totally feel what he was feeling and see that could organically happen.
And one of the things I was afraid of with the film, when they actually show Steve and Wonder Woman getting together, I was like, oh no, are they going to make Wonder Woman gigglier or dumber or lovelorn or any of that? And that doesn't happen at all in this film.
No, and it's not like a whirlwind romance or anything like that. It's kind of like the world is ending. Let's hook up.
Yeah,
almost like one of those things.
And then
we might not make it past tomorrow. Let's not even think about it.
And the next day they're back to business. Like there's no real. I mean, I guess it's maybe one or two callbacks, but there's not a lot of. Oh no! Now I'm really worried about you. It's like Wonder Woman, and I have this somewhere in my notes here. She cares about things and people.
Yeah.
She actually gives a damn about everything going on. She's just like, why are people killing each other?
Yeah.
Which is a very innocent thing to say, but it's what she actually wants to worry about. And you actually care about it because she cares about it. Batman, Superman, let's see, who else? The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if they care about anything, honestly, other than being dark and sad and everything. You don't have any of this there's a decided lack of self-pity, I think, in this movie.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think it's interesting the way that you're seeing the story pretty much through Wonder Woman's eyes, because she's remembering all this. If you see, the beginning, the way they work it into the timeline is excellent, and her thinking back to her more naive time, and it actually, you see through the arc of the movie, her remembering all this, and then at the end of it, her ready to go back and start fighting for the world again, so to speak. She's, as we know, in Batman vs Superman, she's having this personal crisis. Pretty much, she doesn't want to help the world anymore.
And the other thing about this movie I have here on this list here, new origin, and there's actually a reason for it. Superman, everybody knows his origin. Batman,
yeah,
everybody knows his origin. Spider-Man, and the list can go on and on and on. But there's certain characters where an introduction and an origin story actually makes sense. And Wonder Woman actually, I wouldn't say needed it, but this was well served because she's been out of the character's been out of the public eye for such a long time. Why not have a proper origin story? Because how many Spider-Man origin stories have we seen? How many Batman origin stories have we seen?
Yeah.
This actually had a reason to exist. So you go, okay.
And that being said, it's also important because Wonder Woman hasn't always had the same origin story her entire comic book life. There's two different stories, which they kind of touched on both in this movie. One was the story her mother told her, and one was the story that ended up being true. But they did touch on both, and it was interesting the way it kind of came about, the truth of who she was and her figuring it out and things like that.
So what did you think about the ending? We've got Ares turning out to be the dude from Harry Potter. And which was interesting. When he actually did a good job. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was excellent. Not too over the top until the very end. Did you see the twist coming? I thought they were going to go with the classic bad guy that we had, which was he played young Stryker.
He played pretty much Red Skull. Oh, did I say Red Skull? I mean, yeah.
He wasn't the Red Skull at all.
Hey, no, not at all. Sorry. No.
Right. No, he wasn't. No, he was the other dude. He wasn't, because this is proto-Nazis. They're not Nazis.
Okay. It's almost Nazis. Yeah.
Yes. So you got that dude who also was on American Horror Story, and you played some kind of saxophone serial killer kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's the bad guy. But also I'm like, why did they hire this guy I've seen before from Potter? He's got this mustache. He hangs out with the werewolf guy. I think he's Lupin. He plays Lupin.
He's Lupin, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so he's going to be important, because it can't be that Wonder Woman can trust man, because this has got to be part of it, right? There has to be some kind of betrayal. And of course there is. And he becomes a little bit scene chewing. I don't want to say he's the worst part of the movie at the end, but I think the worst part of this movie is the ending.
I agree. And also, before you jump into why it speeds up, the movie really seems like once it hits that third act, it seems like they're trying to get everything in really quickly.
Uh-oh. Your video has frozen. I don't know what to do with the live hangout. Do I have to piece these two things together? I guess I could put them up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the call, and then I'll put that up as part 2. So we're going to get to the ending of Wonder Woman when we come back.